Honcast here. That's right. Han Tour Season 4, cycle number 6 is here. As we have made it to day number 1 now of what is the group stages, of course. Cycle number 6. Can't believe I'm saying that already. There's still plenty of Han to go, but here we are. 6 cycles. Going to be the 6th one, of course, going to be getting now 5 cycles currently out of the way, well over the halfway point. And it's been an interesting journey so far, to say the least. But excited to be here. With that said, of course, to kick off this cast, obviously we are getting a little bit later start today, at least on the Honcast side of things. I do apologize. For that. Something did come up. Had to take a somewhat of an emergency situation. Obviously a last-minute deal, or else I would have given you plenty more heads up if that wasn't the case. But simply put, things are fine in the end. Back, we're casting some Heroes of New Earth. That's what matters. So we definitely got some great series still ahead of us here. 2 series now that we're going to be casting. The first set already happening, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But the match that we're casting here in front of us is Fresh versus Complexity Gaming here. And, of course, this 2-game series. And with that said, I got to get my co-caster joining me today. I'm going to be joined by Rick Grostay here. Rick Grostay, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. Excited to be back on Honcast again.
Glad to have you back. Now, I know that you were casting there with Grewcast in that first series. So it was Complexity versus Evil Corporation, right?
Yeah, it was. It was the first game was pretty close, but then just the team fight from Complexity just took over, and then the second game was just all Complexity. So they've had a really good start today. So excited to see how this game goes.
Yeah, I definitely am now as well. Again, excited to be here. I really am excited to get back into getting into casting here. Obviously, had the week off here with cycle number 5 wrapping up last week. And speaking of that, of course, Complexity, our 3rd-time champion here through 5 cycles. So they are the big dogs on campus. They're the team to beat right now. And all these other teams are looking to change that here in cycle 6. Now, the other interesting thing to kind of look at that too, though, is that Complexity. They win a cycle, they lose a cycle. That's how it's kind of gone so far. They won the first one. Obviously, Fresh then took the second one. They won the 3rd one. We had Evil Corporation taking the 4th one. So will that stand here? Will we keep up that pattern, or will Complexity maybe break it and prove that they really, really are the team to beat? But again, already 3 of the 5. They definitely are, I think is safe to say. So, and off to a good start, as you pointed out right there. But they have Fresh here, though. Fresh is also a team that they started with a victory. They did defeat Polymorph, one of the new teams. The new team, in fact, to the Diamond Division. You pull up the standings right here just to get a look. Obviously, very, very early on, only 1 set of series have been played. So not taking too much from it, but with that said, Fresh off to a strong start. Polymorph, we'll see how they continue with a tough road ahead of them. And how things are looking. But with these 2 teams, looking good to start. We'll see how they continue that now in this series. All right, we got all that taken care of here, the introduction and everything. So let's start looking at this actual match now that we have in front of us. So we got picks to talk about. We got Behemoth into Tundra, Warbeast into Prophet, Sandwraith coming out, then Parasite final picked here. So for Gross Day, what are we looking at? What do we think about the draft so far?
Just both teams kind of picked for their heroes that they really like. Good draft here by ProBusk. Taking the Behemoth, the Warbeast, the Sandwraith, the Voodoo, just good all-around heroes that can kind of participate throughout the game. And this is the 2nd time today that Complexity's actually first picked Tundra. So they've found some love in that hero.
Really?
And it does very well against Warbeast.
Well, yeah, that and, having that Parasite combination, it reminds me of, there was a stay where earlier on in that in Denial Esports, ProBusk played for them, and they went through a phase where they were running the Tundra Parasite combo, and then most recently, of course, Evil Corporation had ran it a bit and was doing well, but it's kind of gone like in phases here, and then it kind of died off, and now we see Complexity with that combination. So we'll see how they fare with it here, the Parasite and the Tundra. But yeah, as you're pointing out, so I guess using Tundra earlier today, They like this idea of a very aggressive gank-style lineup here. Is pretty clear with the Valkyrie now.
And Oscar did a fantastic job on it. He was the one that actually played it, and he just kept blocking. He was actually against the Parasite, and he just kept blocking the Parasite's rightmost hard camp, and Parasite never had that hard camp the whole game. So, for Warbeast, you block a medium camp early, you start blocking hard camps later, does slow down his farm a decent amount.
Yeah. We got Fade the final pick. Speaking of gank presence, Fade pretty good at that too. Really fits in nicely with the Sand Wraith. Of course, you open up with the Fade and Sand Wraith can RN as a just in case, maybe to secure a kill. So that's clear that's going to be the logic here of Fresh. Now, with that said too, though, they are running, more of a 2 kind of carry lineup here with the Warbeast throwing in and the Sand Wraith. So a little bit different for Fresh here as far as what we're used to seeing from them. We'll see how they make it work here, though. But is that going to be a jungling Warbeast, I would assume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a Suicide Behemoth, I would assume. I think it's going to be a jungle Warbeast. It's going to be different guy mid. They might dual lane mid with the Fade Voodoo Jester, but we'll have to see how that goes. See what Complexity takes last year. They have a lot of options. I see they want the Doctor. Could definitely be good with their lineup. I mean, Tundra, Parasite, and Doctor could really make good picks happen together.
Yep, that seems like an appropriate carry for a lineup such as this. I guess you could. Whoa!
Or that.
That kind of changed last second. I mean, still an appropriate carry, I guess, in the sense of wanting to gank and be aggressive, but I did not see that one coming.
Yeah.
With the Blood
I want
Hunter.
to say he's played it once in this cycle, or once in this season, I believe. So, for their lineup, it definitely fits the playstyle. I mean, so gank heavy with the Valkyrie, the Blood Hunter, the Tundra, the Parasite. It's going to be really exciting to see if they can actually get the picks working early.
Absolutely. Now that is definitely, and it is interesting. I actually I was monitoring the other series as it was wrapping up right there with, once again, we had a victory in favor of Fresh 2-0 over Polymorph. But their game number 2, Probusk, he was actually playing Blood Hunter. Go figure. So kind of a coincidence here. And that was like an hour-long game, actually, apparently. Apparently it was pretty close. But, yeah, it's just kind of, he's not a hero that is a very popular one. And sure enough, we see it in a back-to-back series here now, at least on paper. So, yeah, the big benefits of a Blood Hunter is, of course, the silence. I think is really his biggest one. A duration of 9 seconds at level 4. It's pretty damn absurd. And then his ultimate, the Hemorrhage, excellent ability for setting up kills. You would think it actually is pretty good against a Warbeast, preventing him from running away. So.
Yeah, Blood Hunter's got a good use this game. I mean, if Fade gets caught, a little bit low HP and pops his ulti, I mean, they're going to have complete vision on him. So it's definitely an interesting pick, but I actually think it could work out this game. So I'm pretty excited to see it. Well,
you mentioned, we saw that he was right-clicking the Doctor. Now, why a Blood Hunter over a Doctor Repulsor?
I'm just going to have to say the silence factor. I mean, maybe they're just hoping to catch the Behemoth or, really any of their heroes with a silence. It should be, that would be the only other reason. I mean, because Doctor would go for a Hellflower eventually anyways. So I think Blood Hunter is a little bit more early game in a way. They kind of just want to group up and just start going as 5 as soon as possible, I believe. So, because, they have the team fight. If you look at their team, they Valk ulti in and they catch them off guard.
Oh, yeah.
A lot can happen, so.
Yeah, the thing that I think with Blood Hunter is that silence, and a hero like a Dr. Bolster, you think he's pretty good against, or like an Oogie for that matter. You can consider him pretty decent against that. So I'm looking at this Legion team though, and silence isn't going to be a really massive hard counter. Obviously Warbeast doesn't really care at all, and then Sand Wraith kind of similar too. So yeah, that's where I'm a little thrown off by the Blood Hunter pick, but we'll see. We'll see how Formless does make it work here. You see off the bat he's doing a little bit of a creep pull actually, because of the Behemoth situation here with that fissure block. So, but look at what Complexity's doing. Aggressive here.
They're playing very aggressive. This isn't very what you got-ish. He doesn't normally play the aggressive jungle, but he is now, and he's Warbeast is already harassed out of the jungle.
If there's somebody that knows the Warbeast jungle, obviously what you got's definitely up there, and so maybe that's what they figure too. He understands that a Parasite can really be annoying for a Warbeast very early on to deal with, especially being able to take over the Hellhounds, of course, and it's already pushing him out of the jungle. Warbeast is going to the other jungle because of it.
Yeah, and we didn't even talk about this. They're aggressive long laning with Valkyrie Prophet. So, it's going to give a lot of pressure to the Sand Wraith and Voodoo Jester, and catching them in the wrong spot, they're going to die. Sand Wraith not being the strongest early game carry, so
yeah,
they have to be careful and not get caught down here.
Yeah, Sandwraith, not much he can do if Voodoo Jester gets gone on, or for that matter, Sandwraith himself. Granted, with that Desert's Curse, could ideally maybe skirt on out of there. So really, Voodoo Jester has to be their target that they would like to get a chance on. We'll see if that opportunity, of course, comes up. But back to Bloodhunter, he is obviously another kind of... It's always interesting seeing a hero that we don't see often. He definitely is one of those. And the first thing that I like to then think about, too, is, and especially in a role as a carry, what are we going to see with the items? I know the Mock of Brilliance is kind of considered maybe more of that TMM styles. Bottom lane, by the way, Voodoo Jester, he does not dodge the arrow. That was a very tight spot right there. Bunny Lover just could not make the escape, and he goes down. Yeah, you got to be careful going into those tight areas against a Valkyrie. That arrow's going to come out.
Yeah, and now Sandwraith has to be very careful down here. It could be the same thing. If he gets caught in that same tight area, he's just going to fall as well.
Mm-hmm.
Complexity, now looking at them picking the Bloodhunter, now that I realize they did want to dual long lane, Bloodhunter does exceptionally well against Behemoth like Dr. Wood, but I believe that this Bloodhunter is going to have kill potential at level 6, far more than a Doctor would.
Oh, yeah.
1v1 at least.
Yeah, you definitely figure with that hemorrhage, of course. It's that's where Bloodhunter is a little interesting. A lot of carries maybe have an ability that's sure for that's good for team fighting or whatnot, but it's not one of those. You hit level 6, you want to set up kills with it. But Bloodhunter is one of those. He really wants to get kills with a hemorrhage, of course, being the ability that it is. But yeah, I want to go back to what I was kind of bringing up there. It's actually Tundra. Hold that thought again, because he's in trouble here. The big Behemoth block. He's going to hold his ground, and actually. Is he actually going to survive this? No, okay, the coL is going to be enough. Man, he lived for a while there.
Yeah. A TP in from a teammate might have actually just saved him, so
yeah.
I would like to see someone hold a TP for that, even if it was just a scare factor. I think they would have backed off in all honesty, so. Yeah, maybe see someone, even especially the Bloodhunter, carry a TP. And they actually rotated the War Beast to the top lane.
That is interesting, yeah. So with Behemoth going mid, set up that kill. It's more of a suicide War Beast now. So that kind of really shows the Parasite impact here. As, okay, apparently DC on Prophet, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, that's actually, he's all the way back there, so he's not able to be down here for the threat. But is that War Beast is now in the lane, ultimately, rather than even jungling. But I guess with that Parasite pressure, felt that this made sense. And obviously they wanted to roam Behemoth. And, well, set up a kill with it in the middle lane, so that paid off there at least. But, yeah, Bloodhunter, what should we expect to see? Just get to the point here. What are we going to see?
Well, I think we're going to, the early items being a phase boots probably. I would assume into, a firebrand or something. And then, like you said, the Mock is kind of TMM-ish, but I believe the Dawnbringer is actually a pretty good item on him. So that could be an option. Definitely going to see a Frostburn, in my opinion. But after that, there's so many item choices. You could play, the secondary-ish carry and go like a Brutalizer. Because they do have a Valkyrie, so he doesn't have to be that one hard carry threat. He could just kind of be that auto-attacking, sit-in-your-face kind of hero. So, yeah, maybe like a Frostburn into a Shrunken, maybe a Basher or something like that.
Yeah, when you look at the skill set of Bloodhunter, it doesn't scream he's a carry. It's not a very carry skill set. It's, I guess, the speed and the mobility of the Blood Sense, you could argue, does give him a little bit of that, and just his kill potential, as we see right here, in fact. Now, he's not level 6, so War Beast may actually... No, here's that Blood Sense. Yeah, there's no way he's getting out of this. One more auto attack, and down he goes. So just as I thought I was going to give him a chance, never mind. That Blood Sense kicks in, and you just can't get away from it.
Yeah,
it's way too fast.
Interestingly enough, he's actually maxing his Blood Sense here, so that definitely means they want to get active as soon as possible. Because normally you see them max the Feast to, be able to sustain in lane and stuff like that. But yeah, he maxed Blood Sense, so they want to get active as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's going to give him, 44% move speed at level 4. That's pretty ridiculous. He's going to be near haste, essentially. And the kind of cool thing, kind of some fun workarounds of the Blood Sensibility is it actually works with illusions, too. Like a lot of these kind of passive abilities do. And so what you can do, if you happen to get an illusion rune or whatever, you maybe just get an illusion somewhat low, and then you can kind of have it just to simply boost your speed. In fights and whatnot. I'm not saying, you're going to be looking to do it every time, but even something like a Geometer's Bane, could be beneficial for that reason, too, to help kind of turn the Blood Sense on.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I kind of like Bloodhunter. You know, he's not the most, you know, orthodox carry, but I mean, there's so many item choices that you can go. It's kind of hard to fault whatever, you know, he does decide to go on that hero.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, of course, I think the Frostburn is the big thing, but like you said, Geos could be great for that illusion effect. And I mean, even a Frostwolf's pretty good on the hero if you really think about it. Just being up in someone's face the whole time, it's definitely not bad and gives them the tankiness. So definitely an exciting hero to see, and especially against this Legion team. Not, you know, like you said, not the silence being the biggest factor, but Sandwraith being just a naturally fast runner, Warbeast being a naturally fast runner, Fade Invis, stuff like that. You know, it's just a good hero.
Well, you know, maybe with the silence not being like as crucial, since they don't have that Doctor, the Yogi on the other side, where you'd want to use it on them every time, maybe he can be open to using it on himself a little bit more. You know, the idea of enhancing his own damage with that Blood Crazy, as I know, is a practical use of it in the later game in certain cases. So we'll see if he's looking to do that here.
Especially give it to Valkyrie as well when he becomes an auto attack threat. So. Because Valkyrie really, once she uses her spells, I mean, they're decently long cooldown, so it doesn't hurt to give her the Blood Sense as well, or the Blood Crazy.
So it looks like Complexity is good to go as soon as Fresh gives the go-ahead here as well. While we're in this pause, again, just a quick reminder, now that we're kind of calming things down once again, getting into the broadcast here, we do see the other match currently happening for these middle matches here. Evil Corporation is now taking on Nightmare Knights, actually, in their 2-game series. So keeping an eye on that one there. Of course, Nightmare Knights remaining in the Diamond Division, but did not have the greatest Cycle number 5. But, hey, they're new to it. It is a team with a lot of potential, so I'm curious to see how they fare there and moving forward. But, you know, for that matter, Evil Corporation also has something to prove, I think. You know, they're not only coming off now a 2-0 loss in their first series earlier today against Complexity, but they didn't finish top 4 last cycle after winning the previous one. So they want to change that, is very safe to say. So we'll see how they perform as well. That's what I love about the groups now, man. It's really you can give a good storyline about any of these teams and why it's interesting to watch out for them. So, all right, back to the live action though. How is the GPM looking? I guess Fade is doing pretty damn good here. We really haven't talked about that too much, but 350 gold per minute here for different guy playing the middle Fade and.
Yeah.
See if he uses that.
It's very even in the mid lane creep kills wise. I mean, 28 to 30, and yeah, just that kill kind of gave different guy the edge here. So, but expect a lot of ganks to happen in this lane. I mean, Fade can set up ganks, Tundra can set up ganks. Just expect a lot to happen in this mid lane.
Mm-hmm. He is level 6. You see him walking towards the bottom, but again, it's just not an easy team to really use this. Not that it's not going to be useful, but you got to be a little careful because that Shiver, of course, you got Parasite hiding in those minions sometimes that may be difficult to see, and when you notice it's too late. So yeah, both teams have this kind of jumpy potential. Obviously, in the Hellborn side, there's plenty of it too, with Valkyrie specifically, the Valkyrie Prism here that they got. So we haven't had I guess we've had a little bit of movement here, but it's only going to get better, is my point. I would think so, at least.
Yeah,
as this
definitely.
game progresses.
Definitely this game.
I'm looking forward to Prophet and his continuing impact. He has been pretty fun to watch here. Love has been playing it a bit recently for this team, and that shared fate, man. If he gets some good positioning with it, gets a couple of heroes, it really does work here.
Yeah, and especially against the 4 melee lineup here from the Legion side, it could definitely be pretty impactful. Oh.
Was that an illusion? Yeah, kind of caught me between two for a second, but just the illusion right there. But yeah, if it was near Bloodhunter, his blood sense would be going crazy right now.
Exactly. And there, so this Behemoth's almost in trouble up here. I mean, if one hero comes up here, I believe Behemoth can just die. So he needs to be pretty actually he's going for it right now.
I was about to say, speaking of it, Behemoth is dead. Sandwraith ports in. I don't know if he's going to get anything out of this, though. Yeah, he's going to kind of chase him, but really not going to get much. If he had maybe one more, if Fade was here at that time, then definitely, but it is not going to be enough return kills. I say that, though. Fade is still striding in, hoping for a chance. Unfortunately, he's not going to get it. They will be able to deny the tower, though, or it is in deny range at least.
Yep.
So there's the benefit from that. But, yeah, Bloodhunter, between the hemorrhage and the silence, like, I really feel like he could have gotten a kill almost by himself there on Behemoth, but got the help.
Yeah. just too close to the tower, I think, was the
True.
big thing. I mean, if he was out a little bit, maybe he'd feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, definitely has the solo kill potential this game. I was actually just along the topic of items that he could get. A tablet comes to mind as well. Didn't even really think about that to actually cancel TP because he has no way to cancel them himself. So could, it's never a bad item on any hero in all honesty. So it could be an item you see him pick up, but I would assume not. But
because
could.
he's that carry role, yeah. If he
Exactly.
was more of a middle role, like say that like Boxy when he plays Puppet Master mid, or even like an
Yeah.
Arachna, I guess you can say somewhat. But yeah, he being the short lane, yeah, I don't know if we would see it, but that definitely is a really good point, though. I mean, it's that is a good counter to him. Of course, is that TP bottom lane Prophet. Fortunately, that arrow's not going to be saving him right here. He got caught by multiple heroes. Eventually killed.
Their whole team is bottom side right now, so Bloodhunter's pretty free up here, and definitely a good start here by Complexity. I mean, they did kind of draft to win all their lanes, so credit to them.
Yeah, that's another point that I knew about, but we haven't really brought up yet. Speaking of the blood sense, we're talking so much about it. Fantastic against Invis as well. It will spot Invis if they're low. So in this case, something like the Fade, if she happens to be using it to get away or whatever, that's a possibility. So I mean, again, this isn't the craziest team. It's not like they have like that Valkyrie on their side or like a Scout or something like that. But still, there's that potential at least.
It's still enough to be a threat somewhere in the game, and Blunter is TPing bot. They're going to try to set up something down here.
Here we go. Prophet pushing up. They're going to be seen here shortly. Behemoth reacts right away, but look at Bloodhunter going on the feet. Immediately hemorrhages out, takes an arrow as well. The Shockwave going to be used, takes a Prophet, but down goes Fade. But that Curse Ground on Valkyrie, it is ticking. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Minimal damage right now, only level 2. Bloodhunter, he's poking in still, but he's going to get this kill. Nice deny, actually, by Probust. But just look at Bloodhunter still going. He's going to get this kill. Again, he heals if he gets the kill. He knows that. He's going to go right back to full. Down goes Behemoth, and Sandwraith is also in trouble, man. This is unbelievable. He just kept going, and they couldn't stop him. And then finally the team joins. Fade is like, well, I'm here late. He pops a reflection. He's not going to be able to make anything happen, though. That chase.
Yeah. Formless was kind of being a little bit hesitant there. I don't think he realized how low all their mana pools was because he kept running back and forth, but then he finally committed to it, and you just saw what happened. Got a bunch of kills there. Just blood sense, just complete vision of all of them. So, yeah, I mean, now they're really, they're showing why this hero was definitely worth the pick.
Oh yeah. Again, the vision as well. It's like you kind of, the more you kind of list the things off of what it does, you then realize that's a strong ability. It makes it run so fast. It gives vision in general. We talked about the stealth already, that possibility. We do see down here actually, different guy. He's going to be stunned as Valkyrie is able to leap away off to the side, though Prophet, unfortunately, couldn't make his escape, so they do get one out of it. But it seems like the Legion team, they really committed to stopping that bit of a push right there. And, well, they do that, but, man, look at the overall leads here. 5,300 goal lead, 4,500 experience lead, and Bloodhunter leading the way at 490 gold per minute. This isn't necessarily a flash farming hero. Now, with the new Feast, that obviously gives him a little bit more capability, which is nice, but he's still not going to, farm like crazy. So the fact that he's 500 plus gold per minute, I think is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the earlier his GPM gets up, the more of a threat he'll be the entire game. So, a lot of how he does is based on how well his early game is. And if he takes over early game and can really be a factor, it's just going to make his late game that much scarier. And Portal Key finished on the Tundra.
He got that picked up here. Yeah, that's going to be coming. In fact, he doesn't even need a Portal Key for this one. How about that play? He uses the cold shoulder to stun in there to a creep to get close enough to then pop the avalanche onto Fade, who was attempting to flee. So well played there by Tundra, and now he has that Portal Key, as you just mentioned. Going to be coming out to him on top of that. Bloodhunter now going to the bottom lane. He has a level 2 hemorrhage here, so we'll see if that comes into play as he's lining up with Valkyrie. Oh, there's the Valkyrie Prism. They're going to try to find somebody here. See who that is. Oh, they know somebody's back here. Oh, boy.
I'm wondering if they're going to send a Shiver over here. There's the arrow.
It's going to miss, but they get the vision. And not going to be worth it, though, yeah, with the TP coming in. A little too scary.
Yeah, they did force rotation here by the Legion side. And there's a Fade ulti as well. So they're going to see all this.
Now you got to be a little careful though by picking a fight right here. There is some backup nearby, including that Tundra. So Fade really is just going to simply keep scouting with it. How about this pickup? Lex Talionis on Fade. Level 1.
Yeah, I think it's one of the few heroes that, not being a support, it's actually pretty good on. It really boosts his initial damage, and to get solo kills with the Sandwraith and the Fade, they're going to need not solo kills, but get kills together on a solo target. They're going to need that little extra damage. So Lex is definitely going to do that for them.
Valkyrie, she's kind of been overlooked a little bit because of that Blood Hunter success, but you do see Fuzzy Sloth here. He's 330 gold per minute, about you mentioned earlier, kind of the secondary carry option right here for the team, and doing pretty well to say the least. Has not been killed yet, of course, and being involved in the 3. Get the Energizer early on. Going to be great for himself and the team here. So, see, now this is, I don't want to say a downside of Blood Hunter, but this is something that Blood Hunter is going to be doing, as they are going to collapse your middle lane and get a kill out of this. So, to the point that he is spending time looking for kills. Now, if they're not getting the kills, then that could be an issue, but they're getting the kills. So, it's actually working out pretty well here for him and his team.
And Shiver helping out a lot with these ganks. I mean, we didn't even really talk about that. Yeah, sure, Parasite and Tundra are great together, but the Shiver Bird gives so much vision for them to even find these targets originally. So I think just a great hero overall with this whole lineup.
Sandwraith bottom lane. I don't know if he's just simply leeching experience or setting. It looks like just simply trying to leech. I guess they do have Behemoth coming down here to maybe go for a kill on the Valkyrie. But she is not an easy target to jump, obviously, and the creep wave's getting pushed out, so don't know if they're going to get much out of this. You can just tell the Legion team is really having to play so defensive right now, and so it's not that they're just dying over and over again. I mean, 8 kills in 14.5 minutes isn't too crazy. It's that they're just playing so defensive, and that's why they're not dying as much, but that's the catch-22. It's like because they're playing so defensive, they're really not getting a whole lot of farm themselves, including on their carry, who's only 270 gold per minute. He is going for that Mock, which isn't surprising, but that's an item that needs a while, and we're seeing that here. 2,200 gold saved up here, so he still needs a bit before that's coming out.
And like you said, they're playing so defensive. They just committed 4 heroes to bottom, and Fuzzy Sloth just decided to back up for a split second. Didn't really see them, but I just ruined everything. They send 4 heroes down there and get nothing out of it. And the rest of the map is just being farmed by the rest of the team.
Valkyrie Prism. Is that, I think it was seen. Yeah, it definitely was seen somewhere. You see them all reacting and falling back. So, Valkyrie is a little tough to use offensively for that reason. You have to make sure everyone's hit in. As middle lane, Blood Hunter kind of having fun with him. Throws out the ultimate.
He's blocked.
Oh, actually, yeah, he did get blocked right there, didn't he? Shockwave comes out and down goes Formless. It didn't look like he got blocked initially, but yeah, he definitely was.
It was just a little bit too close to that tree. I mean, I think if it was any farther off the tree, he wouldn't have been blocked. So, and he had a hatchet as well. Ooh, yeah. He probably the same thing. He didn't realize he was blocked and maybe looked away for a split second and realized he ran into their whole team.
Yep, that's unfortunate. Fade is going to get caught again, though. Different guy. He is going to get a stun off before, but it doesn't matter. No backup nearby. It does go down. So, but I was just about to, speaking of Fade, that was a target that Blood Hunter obviously was kind of messing around with a little bit. So, yeah, getting a little too deep there. I mean, that wasn't a secondary tower by himself. So, that'll make him think twice now, if anything, about future kill attempts. That's for sure. But I mean, you look at Voodoo Jester, 0-2-0, 90 gold per minute, so their support has no items on them currently, and especially against a team that's being so active as they are, I mean, that's just free food, like, for this Hellborn team right now to get kills with.
Anyone on that Hellborn team can practically kill him alone. I mean, even Prophet could kill him alone at this point, so I mean, look at all the gold being saved up. 3K on the Tundra, 2.5K on the Valkyrie. They just kind of have everything going for them right now. I mean, this gold lead is not in kills. It's just based off farming, and that they're farming the whole map at this point. So just really well played by Complexity to kind of just soak up the whole map.
A hindsight deal, but let's get into it. Sandwraith, should he have maybe looked to get like an Energizer here, a little bit more of an active earlier item, or is the Mock fine?
I would have liked to see maybe an Energizer, some vestments. Because, I mean, if he ports into a fight right now, what's he really doing? He has 1,000 HP and hits for 60, damage a hit. So definitely weak, and at least the Energizer would have been a good team support item. I mean, it's never bad to have ever. So, yeah, it would have definitely been nice to see, but he chose to go straight for the Mach, and wonder if he just thought he'd get it faster than he did and just figured maybe, top lane though.
The timing was just a second or two off right there. They went in right as the last creep was being killed, and Bloodhunter had no reason to stay around, so that was a little unfortunate. But Vade's going to see him, but obviously not getting a solo kill. He's just simply keeping vision on him here.
Does he think he can do it with Sanderaith? Yeah,
I guess, yeah. I always forget that, man. I always forget Sanderaith for some reason being a part of it too. So definitely not a solo kill. That was a good duo kill right there, and that's an important kill actually. That really helps slow it down a little bit more, and now you got the Mach is one step closer for Sanderaith here.
Yeah, and I mean that's also War Beast as well. We didn't really look at the
True.
They actually have really good global presence with that team. Fade. Well, Fade's not really global, but the global presence.
He's the one that starts it.
Yeah, he's the one that gets it going, and could be very strong. I mean, if they can keep getting solo kills on Bloodhunter, slow him down a little bit. I mean, Fuzzy Sloth isn't farming the most at this point, so it would definitely hurt. But there's a DD invis on this Tundra right now, so. Oh my.
Yep. Speaking of free food there, by the time I got to him, Voodoo Jester was already dead, so they jumped him and they killed him.
There's just nothing Bunny Lover can do this game.
Yeah.
We already said he can die to anything on the team. And a full shrunken head was just purchased by Tundra.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Is he that farmed? I guess he is. 420 coal per minute, man. Oscar's work.
It's weird, because you don't see Oscar in this mid-roll anymore, but since Fuzzy Sloth and him swapped, so
yeah,
they're just seeing him back in the mid lane. It's interesting to see. He still can do it.
Yeah, Oscar actually one of the nominees from Psycho 5 for most valuable player, even very worthy of it. This is a player that really has just signed more and more, it feels like, and a big part of their success, of course. So those awards, I believe they're planning to be announced early this next week here, so look forward to that. But they kill Conqueror in the process, and that means a token for Bloodhunter here. Who has that now? Yeah, Fuzzy Sloth going a little interesting too with that Thunderclaw. Wanted to get a little bit of farm presence himself. So,
Yeah.
370 GPM here.
And kind of the same thing we were talking about. He's being the secondary carry. Get a farming item, get him into the jungle, because Bloodhunter is going to be roaming at this point. So, I mean, he can have that whole top lane at this point, and most of the jungle. So, yeah, it's definitely the right decision to get at least some sort of farming item. And, yeah, I'd like to see him maybe pick up a Firebrand now or something like that, help us farming a little bit more and then into a Shrunken.
This middle tower, a little below half-life right here. It looks like it is going to be pushed in the end by Complexity here. Bloodhunter pretty much going to tank the rest of it, and obviously the Legion side, they're still in no position to be picking a fight here. So they need some pretty core items. The Portakey on Behemoth, the Shrunken Head on Warbeast, the Mach on Sandwraith, which are all just around the corner. In fact, Portakey was just purchased by Behemoth. There's the Shrunken Head on Warbeast. And one more creep, there we go. Mach of Brilliance is now going to be purchased by Sandwraith. So it just so happens, here's the timing for the Legion team, but is it going to be in time still? What a reaction from Behemoth. And here we go with Sandwraith, actually. He pops his own ultimate. Look at the counter now. And coming to the fight, Blood under Blood Sense, of course, being procced right here. He's looking for a chance, but Tundra getting turned on. That reaction from Behemoth. Man, that was perfect.
Yeah, that was almost inhuman reaction time right there.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
that was incredibly fast to get jumped like that. And then well played there by a different guy to be able to follow up on that. But yeah, that's a good kill at this point. I mean, they're still down by a lot, but it's going to slow down this Hellborn team now, and that's what they need.
These last like 5 minutes, I feel like, have actually been in the favor of Fresh almost, which sounds weird because they're down 12,000 gold and 9,600 experience, but it just seems like that, they've had a couple of important kills, a 2 on a Bloodhunter and the one stop right there. They've got now those really like core items to at least start fighting here in the early game. And this is a scary team. I mean, the Warbeast, the Sandwraith, we've been stressing that. They're kind of global catch presence here. So I'm not saying Complexity's on a very short clock necessarily, but you know, they can't be giving up many more of these kills here. To the Legion side.
I don't want to drag on the game too much longer. I think they're going to kind of just wait for this Bloodhunter to finish his Shrunken, and he should be... Oh, or they're just going to jump mid and kill someone.
Yep, Hunter's active, man, and yeah, that's one of those cases he really didn't have a choice right there. He kind of had to run and hope that it wore off, or else he was dead anyways, but the hemorrhage does do him in. And we see him fall right there. Yeah, the hemorrhage with this skin is a little different. It's like that greenish glow, so it's hard to tell, I feel, sometimes. But
don't really know. But yeah, I mean, he'll feel it when he's running.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, this is going to be a base tower. I mean, you see how low it is already. Behemoth puts up his wall, so... yeah, going to slow it down a little bit, but I do believe they're still going to get this base tower.
Yeah, that is the thing with the Mocker Brilliance on Sandwraith. A great item for him to have, but it doesn't help his tankiness. So we saw right there, gets caught by Tundra. Behemoth's going to go with a pretty big shockwave, actually. But Bloodhunter getting low, but there's two things what's not the greatest with that. You know, he can heal up pretty quickly with a hero kill. And he happens to have a token of life right here, too. So they chase pretty far. They do end up killing Behemoth, just Parasite in the background. Parasite, though, he's being turned on now. He will fall right here. Sandwraith does come back up. He presses R. He's still going to make something happen. Down goes Bloodhunter, going to come up with the token. He's going to get the backup that he needs, though, as he is in the run now. But no, they're going back in. The hemorrhage on a Warbeast. It's forcing him. He needs to run, but he couldn't. He goes down right there. Warbeast is not buying back. And Sandwraith, he's thinking about it living on the edge right here. Going back at himself, but yeah, he's all right there. Warbeast with that haste, especially running full speed, he just dropped to the hemorrhage.
Yeah, it took an it's almost a disgusting amount of damage. Like, you need him to run, but he can't. He's just stuck there, and I mean, you saw right there, he ran and just died. So, without his Shrunken up, he's pretty vulnerable this game. So, yeah, basically, if Fresh can, kind of like survive for the next 10, 15 minutes, get another big item on Sandwraith, maybe get something else on this Warbeast. I mean, they still do have a chance at this game. Really, no matter how big this gold lead gets, because they always have that Behemoth factor. They always have a Sandwraith. They always have a War. They have these good heroes.
Yeah.
They just need time.
Now, to clarify, I know you mentioned with the Shark, I think you're just talking about outside damage, but the hemorrhage is superior magic, so...
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, outside,
okay,
just the actual, not being able to get comboed by a Parasite, stuff like that.
Yeah, the outside damage that happens as well. But, yeah, again, it's like we look at a case like that where, yeah, you could say, well, he should have just stood there. I mean, that's because we knew the other result ended as it did. I mean, if he just stood there, then if you're like, it would have just died anyways, obviously with just having to be up to everyone. So he took the risk, figured he would still run anyways, and hoped to at least be out of range of the supporting cast. But as we saw, it just was too much damage to handle right there. So the pressure is going to continue. That makes sense from Complexity. Their lead is their biggest yet. As we're stressing here, this is a fairly dangerous Legion team if you let them calm it down here. And Complexity's not letting them do that here. They're going back in now, so the Shockwave is back up for Behemoth. Be careful about that here. God, Valkyrie's doing a good amount of damage now, too, with that Firebrand even.
Yeah, and this Rax is going to fall. Just the Ballista from Parasite, just taking it down basically by himself.
Yeah, they don't have a way to really deal with that, do they?
No outbones on anyone, so yeah, he's just going to... I mean, they still have one outer tower as well, so really early Rax. Complexity's just playing to their draft at this point. Just get through, did very well the early game, won the early game, and now they're just transitioning to the mid-late game with doing everything they should do.
Ooh, Fade is looking for a catch here. He's going to get some backup, actually. Will it be in time? Sandwraith porting in. What a combo right there. Down goes Valkyrie, down goes Prophet. We've seen it happen a couple times, but, man, it really is intense damage. Between Sandwraith, Fade, and then you got the battle cry of Warbeast. They actually drop people pretty quickly here. So that's again, it comes back to why this game, even it's a solid, pretty big lead here for Complexity. You just never really feel very comfortable that this is their game just yet. We do see the middle tower now being pressured in response. However, Complexity does not want to give it up. Warbeast is going to be jump power. Bloodhunter also got caught in the background by Behemoth and Fade. He is able to get his shrunken head off, though, and here come more TPs. So now the Hellborn team, they're the ones that are going to chase that hemorrhage again. Warbeast has to TP. Is he going to get out? He is. No stuns or anything like that to go through. So At least he did escape in the end, and the rest are going to be fine too. It looks like, Samwraith gets away. Behemoth.
I don't know if Behemoth is if they check down here. You gonna throw a random arrow down there?
Do it.
Maybe? No.
No.
He threw it up.
Other way. All right. Well,
So, yeah, I mean,
got away.
that wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
They didn't get the tower, though, so, I mean, it's going to get denied as well. But, I mean, they only lost one from that, I believe. Yeah, no, it was just Bunny Lovers, so, I mean, it still ended up being a 2-for-1, and now Fade's set up bottom behind them.
Again, though, it's 15 seconds on the Mirage here, so that's the backup that he would need, and he's going to wait it out. I think Blood and Art could be in trouble right here. Oh, and especially with support. In fact, Beams is coming over. Uh-oh. Blood Hunter is in a lot of trouble. There's the fissure. Arrow's going to come out and actually whiff, though. Prophet's going to do what he can. What a timing from Prophet to get in there. Sheer goes down. Blood Hunter will fall. He did not get a heal from anything. They got the counter call to Behemoth, though. Prophet trying to finish off Fade at least. The creeps might do that for him as he goes down. But Fade is actually, oh my god, he will die. The creeps are enough damage. Tundra and Valkyrie, though, still in pursuit. That Spirit War comes out. Arrow in the face, though. And down goes Voodoo Jester. Down goes Samwraith as well. And the end result is well in favor of Complexity. You do see the buyback on a Blood Hunter, as well as Valkyrie, for that matter. Coming back here, so. No, did she buy back? No, that was earlier. Okay. But still.
Yeah, I mean, they used one buyback there for that fight, and they didn't really need the Blood Hunter, so in reality, you never really needed to buy back there, but, I mean, he did. They're going to be able to push this bottom racks now. They still have two catapults here, one with Parasite and one just normal one, but here comes the arrow from Valkyrie. Oh, almost.
Swing and a miss right there, but figures he'd try it out, and if anything, kind of good vision, too, to see where they're at. It does catch, and you know that's your go moment, but gonna apply some pressure. Oh, the shockwave coming out. Now, it does hit a couple of heroes, but the follow-up lacking, man. No one was really there, and Behemoth just died shortly after. So, yeah, I don't know if that was miscommunication or the team just didn't really have the opening that he thought they did, but
yeah,
some more kills.
Kind of a fault there by the Legion team. I think they maybe could have done something there. I mean, Sandwraith was just about to spawn. I mean, he didn't have ulti, but, I mean, they're in their base, so I think they at least should have tried something. And now they have no Behe ulti for this either, and most likely this tower is going to die on the next wave.
Yeah, I know, obviously we're not on the Skype or anything like that, but I actually do think you can blame Sloska there a little bit more. Yeah, with Sandwraith still being dead, 15 more seconds or so for coming up, I mean, you really think they should have at least waited for that, but with him dead now, I mean, sure, he's going to be coming back up in Behemoth, but the arrow does hit.
Arrow?
Yeah, the game on now. A little too deep here. But Behemoth doesn't have a shockwave now, so he's up, but no shockwave. His threat's a lot less. However, it's enough to scare Complexity. They're not going to risk it. They do get the tower killed.
Yeah.
Going to reset now.
Like you said, though, I mean, this gold lead shows 21K, but I'm still not sold on Complexity having this game in the bag at this point. It's as weird as it seems. I mean, if Fade Sandwraith can catch off Blood Hunter a couple times, and I mean, if they just start getting picks everywhere, this game could change like that. Sure, it shows this much right now, but they still have the Wombo combo on that Legion team.
Oh, absolutely. No, we have seen some leads as of late, in fact, that have definitely kind of been drawn out to a point of very long games and actual eventual comeback. So this has potential for that now. The chances of it actually happening obviously still pretty slim. Valkyrie Prism was used, but it was definitely seen right there. I think some Hellhounds award a sight, getting the information out there. So an attempt from Complexity, but a no-go in the end. They'll instead go back to Congra, though. Look to make something happen over here. Samwraith's just going to scout it out with some illusions, but now they definitely have vision, of course, with this ward. In fact, here come the Hellhounds as well. So the Legion team, they don't want to give this up.
Oh, if Behe gets ultied here, oh, Behe got caught.
That's a big find, actually. In fact, he's TPing, yeah.
They're going to get this Kong for free now, though, because there's going to be no Behe here.
Let's Fade. Is he going to steal it? Different guy. Oh, somebody's going at Samwraith. Nope, now he's in trouble. The token of life was picked up by Blood Hunter. Here comes that shockwave actually coming back into the fight. He will die shortly after, though. Tundra may fall to Warbeast as he does right there. Samwraith is somehow able to make the escape, though. So it ends up being a 1-for-1, but again, token is in favor of Blood Hunter. And the rest are on the run now. Silence on to Fade. They have a way to stop. No, they do not. Not enough damage. Fade gets away. Sandwraith, maybe not the same story, though. He's trying to squeak out of here using that
He just
Desert's Curse.
needs to take a little bit more damage.
Now I see.
Now it's going to be seen.
Now that blood sense.
Close enough.
Yeah, even without it,
definitely
though.
a good effort there by Probust. Almost got away from that. So, I mean, yeah. B actually ended up canceling his TP there. He was TPing back just to scare Bloodhunter away. And then just waited it out.
Okay.
So that's why he was there so fast.
That's what happened. Yeah, I was a little confused by that. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good scare tactic. I mean, because Bloodhunter doesn't, well, if he's just going to TP out, how am I going to stop him?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a bad scare tactic. So he did get a decent ulti off there as well. But, yeah, I mean, right there, that's kind of the gold lead. Just didn't have the full damage to deal with that decent B ulti that I think hit like 4 or 3 heroes. So
Yeah. I can understand why they felt a little more comfortable, and it almost caught them off guard, but not enough in the end. And you got Bloodhunter now with that token. He actually has enough for the Assassin Shroud, which is what I assume that Steam staff is going to turn into, but maybe either maybe not, or he wants just to make sure he has the buyback. They're going to find Behemoth right here. And see, he gets found by Parasite initially, and Bloodhunter there too. He actually just threw out the hemorrhage to just make the kill happen.
Love is really lost right now.
Where is he? Oh, yeah.
He's in their base.
What the hell is that
He
about?
got a solo kill by himself, I guess, but he's running into their whole team right now.
Well, the bottom lane, we saw Fuzzy Sloth get picked up, and now he puts a shared Fade down, assisting here what he can. He does die in the end, but Sandwraith and Fade are on the run. Sandwraith going to TP out. Fade running away, so, yeah, I mean, he got a kill. That was interesting.
He just walked into their base. It just was awkward to see. He just straight up walked up and started fighting the Voodoo Jester, but I mean, for a support, he's pretty farmed, and this is going to be a free melee rack. Oh, no, they're all up, actually. Almost free melee racks.
Buybacks happening, I assume. Yeah, Fade using his. So actually the only one, but he is now out of buybacks on Fade.
Oh, Fade didn't die there. He bought
Oh,
back
you're
twice already?
right. Yeah. Wow.
When did he buy back?
I don't even know. That must have been in a much earlier fight when they were holding probably at the middle or earlier bottom. Yeah, I did not even notice that.
It's a little interesting. I didn't. Yeah, because they still have all their buybacks on Sandwraith, and he has one right now, so. How much time's left on this token? Yeah, 2 minutes. I mean, they should really try to press something here. No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I'm just surprised that he hasn't bought the Assassin Shroud. Like, what is he? Especially with the token and pushing.
I think he's gonna buy a Wingbow.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Okay.
I believe he's gonna buy a Wingbow. I think he's right now just saving for a buyback, but I believe that's gonna be a Wingbow.
Okay.
It's definitely good against their team. So.
Yeah, I just don't think Wingbow with the Steam staff purchase, but yeah, no, it is part of it. So there you go.
There it is.
We're right there. Melee Rax goes down, but here we go. Shockwave, again, not the biggest, but it does catch Tundra. Enough to get the kill on him as well as Sandwraith, but look at Bloodhunter. He's going to heal up right here with Behemoth dying. Yes, he will. He dropped to half, got back to full. Warby's trying to do as much damage to him as he can. Silence on to Sandwraith right here. It's a little risky because now Sandwraith doing more damage, but Warby's goes down. Bloodhunter heals right back up, and down goes Sandwraith as well. It's a double tap, and that should do it. GG, well played. Game 1, will go to Complexity here. And they start strong in the group stages, continuing at least so far. So 1-0 lead for them going into that second game now. But a little scary maybe, but I mean in the end the result that we did expect happened here with their early lead. So well played by Complexity.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're finally starting to not see those Complexity 90-minute late games now.